यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन जमुना तीरो बनचारी जमुना तीरो बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sarva Vaishnava devotees. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories.
Sorry, thank you, Maharaj.
Happy to be with you today.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. So, dear devotees, we thank you all for being here as usual. We are very much honored and blessed. We have His Holiness Bhakti Prabhav SWAMI Maharaj with us today. And somehow, today is the last day of the month of February. And it's very beautiful that we have Maharaj ending the month with us. So, without further ado, Maharaj, we may put the verse on the screen, and then you take it over from here. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we will be discussing verse 29 of the 6th chapter, Creation of the Universe, Canto 3. Tartiyena svabhavena bhagavanna bim asvita ubayoch antaram vyoma ye rudra parshadam gana. Tartiyena svabhavena bhagavanna bim asvita ubayoch antaram vyoma ye rudra parshadam gana. Tahtiyena svabhavena bhagavana bim ashrita ubayor antaram vyoma ye rudra parshadam kana. Word for word translation. Tahtiyena, by excessive development of the third mode of material nature, the mode of ignorance. Svabhavena, by such nature, Bhagavatna Bim, abdominal navel of the gigantic form of the personality of Godhead. Asritaha, those who are situated, Ubayo, between the two, Antaram, in between, Vyoma, the sky. Ye, of all of whom Rudra Parshadam, associates of Rudra, Gana, population, translation, and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Living entities who are associates of Rudra develop in the third mode of material nature, or ignorance. They are situated in the sky between the earthly planets and the heavenly planets. Purport. This middle portion of the sky is called Bhuvarloka, as confirmed by both Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti and Srila Jiva Goswami. In Bhagavad Gita it is stated that those who develop in the mode of passion are situated in the middle region. Those situated in the mode of goodness are promoted to the region of the demigods, and those who are situated in the mode of passion are placed in human society, and those who are in the mode of ignorance are placed in the society of animals or ghosts. There are no contradictions in this conclusion. Numerous living entities are distributed all over the universe in different planets and are so situated in terms of their own qualities in the modes of material nature. I read the verse once again. Living entities who are associates of Rudra develop in the third mode of material nature, or ignorance. They are situated in the sky between earthly planets and the heavenly planets. Om Mahyana Timandasya Chinansala Shalakya Saksuan Militam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Nama Chitchetanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svamrupakadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shiyuda Padakamalam Shiyam Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Charichatam Saganaragnatam Vitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasaitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shivashakam Vitam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Chatpate Gopesha Goprakanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansana Gauri Radhe Vinavanesvara Vishavana Siddha Deve Pranama Hari Priye Vancha Kalptrabhasha Kepasan Brivasha Patnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnabhyo Namo Nama Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Advait Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamani. Namaste Saraswata Devi Gauravani Pacharini. Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Dasa Dharani. Srila Prabhupada Ki. So we see here a description of the creation. that and the living entity in the third mode, the mode of ignorance, are created. This living entities is associates of Rudra. They are situated between the earthly planets and the heavenly planets. So that is called Bhuvarloka. Bhuvarloka is described here. That is between Bhur and Sva. Bhur is the earthly planets, and Sva is the heavenly planets. So the demigods, they are representing different energies of the Lord, and they making possible that material life forms can act. Here we have the associates of Rudra. They are in the mode of ignorance. In the 8th canto, there we will have a description of, there's a chapter called The Pregnance of Diti in the Evening. And Diti forces Kashyapa Muni for a union at the wrong time. It's twilight. And during this twilight, it's described that all these associates of Rudra and Lord Shiva himself, they are wandering. They are present during this twilight, which represents ignorance. And of course, Lord Shiva, it's described there, he has certain characteristics. Lord Shiva is not Vishnu Tattva, it's Shiva Tattva. And Lord Shiva has 5 qualities that the living entities don't have. And one of these 5 qualities is that it is all pervading in the material universe, only in the material universe. He knows what's going on everywhere. So Diti was afraid because Lord Shiva was the husband of her sister, and he would know what she had done, and that having this union during twilight, an inauspicious time, which, influenced by the mode of ignorance. So there we find more information about these associates of Rudra in the 8th canto. But Bhuvarloka. What is Bhuvarloka? We have heard about Bali Maharaj going to the Sutal planet, and that this Sutal planet is one of the lower planetary systems. But Burloka is our planetary system, the earthly planets. It's below. It's below Bhuvar. So Bhuvarloka, the earthly planets, that's described in the 5th canto. Bhuvarloka is also called Jambudvip, and the central island there is Bharatvarsha, is where we are. We are part of the Jambudvip. The Earth is situated as one of the Vargas, as one of the planets in Jambudvip. That, of course, you have other Varshas. Bharatvarsha is earthly planets, but it's also Ilavrita Varsha, Ketumal Varsha. All these earthly planets are described, Burloka. But here we speak about Bhuvarloka. But above Bhuvarloka, you have Indraloka, Svarga, Chandraloka, the moon planet, Suryaloka, sun planet, Brihaspati Loka, Sukraloka, where Sukracharya lives, and Yamaloka, where those who go to Yamaraj and are sentenced, they are at Yamaloka. But here is about Bhuvarloka. Bhuvarloka are subtle or intermediate planets between Burloka and Svargaloka. And there are so many planetary systems there. In Bhuvarloka you have Siddhaloka. There the Siddhas live who have great mystic powers. Charanaloka, these are kind of celestial beings. Gandharva Loka, these are demigods who are celestial musicians, we can see. Rakshasa Loka, that's also in Bhuvarloka. It's very powerful beings. Antariksha, this sky region where ghosts and spirits dwell, that's all part of Bhuvarloka. But higher than Bhuvarloka is Sva, the heavenly planets, and higher than the heavenly planets is Marloka, Janaloka, Tapailoka, Satyaloka. But this is higher. But lower than the earthly planets, than Jambudvip, are the lower planetary systems. There you have Atal, Vital, Sutal. Sutal is where Bali Maharaj is. Talatal, Matal, Rasatal, Patal. This is the cosmology presented according to the Bhagavatam. Interesting is, you have Yamaloka. Yamaloka is part of Svargaloka. But you have also Pitriloka. It's the abode of the Pitris. That and that is, this Pitriloka is also part of Bhuvarloka. Of course, Yamaraj has his own planet, Yamaloka, which he rules, but he rules also Pitriloka at the same time. It's interesting, which is in it's not in Sva, it is in the Bhuvarloka. The Pitris, they are in Pitraloka, they have a subtle body. They attain liberation, not yet liberation. Nearly liberation, but not yet liberation. And they are waiting to get a new body. That's Pitriloka. So according to our mental state at the time of death, and also the PICE credits we get, we go to certain planets. Now, there are two systems of elevation as described in the Vedas. One is Pravritti Marg and the other Nivritti Marg. Pravritti Marg is also called the path of enjoyment. That they follow Karmakanda. That they follow Karmakanda rituals. It means Karmakanda rituals is for those who want to enjoy, and but they enjoy following the Vedas, Karmakanda, and by that they become elevated to one planet to another, gradually even up to Brahmaloka. That's Pravritti Marg. Nivritti Marg is different. That's the path of renunciation. So the Pravritti Marg is the path of material engagement, we can say. It encourages one engagements in dharma, karma, dharma, artha, kam. And one who follows Pravritti Marg follows strictly the Varnashram dharma. And that allows regulated sense enjoyment, and that leads to higher planetary systems. So to travel to these higher planetary systems, what is the way as the Pravritti Marg? That this is described also in the Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto, in the 7th canto. That, but what is the ultimate result of the Pravritti Marg? You continue in birth and death, samsara. You don't get out. You go to higher planetary systems, but you remain in the samsara. That's the Pravritti Marg. The Nivritti Marg is different. The path of renunciation and liberation, it's called. That, so there, what is the point? What is the priority in Nivritti Marg? Is to get moksha, liberation. And therefore, it teaches one detachment and cultivation of spiritual knowledge. I'm not a body, and so on. That, so it involves also devotion and meditation on the Supreme Lord. And that can lead one to Vaikuntha, the spiritual realm. It gives one Atma-Gyan. It leads to self-realization. That, so Prabhupada speaks about it Nivritta Marg in many purports. That Nivritti Marg means giving up material desires and taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada says in the 11th canto. That, of course, King Rishabhadev in 551 says, human life is meant for liberation, it's not for sense gratification. That, so, in the beginning of the second canto, Sukadev Goswami stresses one should renounce and dedicate one to devotional service. So the result of Nivritti Marg, it leads one to liberation and existence in the spiritual realm. So it's interesting. Then the question is, our process of devotional service, is it Pravritti Marg or is it Nivritti Marg? That's an interesting question. That some say it's Nivritti Marg. But the Bhagavatam has a more nuanced answer on this. That Srimad Bhagavatam says that Pravritti Marg is necessary in the beginning. A householder is still attached to material life. That, but Nivritti Marg is the goal. That so also in the first canto, Narada Muni stresses and says to instructs Srila Vyasadeva. He said this Pravritti Marg, you dedicated a lot of attention, gave it a lot of attention in your writings. But this all this karma kanda and so on. But he said this pravritti marg, it should be centered on Krishna Bhakti. That is the man's message. You did not connect it with Krishna Bhakti. So in the beginning, it's necessary. No, that. So in the 11th canto, the Navayogendas instructing King Nimi, they say this pravritti marg leads to bondage, and nivritti leads to liberation. So, but finally, Lord Krishna in the Uddhav Gita brings everything together. And he says to Uddhav, this pravritti marg and this nivritti marg, they exist, that's right. But the highest path is bhakti. And bhakti is transcendental to pravritti marg and nivritti marg. So because this pravritti marg, because that is what Lord Chaitanya says, Brahmanda Brahmite Bhakyavan Jiva Gaur Krishna Prasadi by Bhakti Lata Beach. That Brahmanda Brahmite, the living entity, goes up and down like in a Ferris wheel, sometimes to the higher planetary systems, sometimes to the lower planetary systems. You're going up and down. So all of us has been going up and down. That for since time immemorial, up and down. And we go up and down in this universe. Brahmanda, it's interesting. Lord Chaitanya says Brahmanda. Brahma Ande. Ande means egg. He says the egg of Brahma. We are going up in the egg of Brahma. So the universe is the form of an egg. And Lord Chaitanya says it's the egg of Brahma. We are going up and down here. But if we become Bhaktyava, unfortunate, then we, by the mercy of Krishna, Guru Krishna Prasadi, by the mercy of Krishna, we meet the bona fide Guru. And the Guru gives the disciple, Krishna, that the seat of Bhakti, in the form of the seat of Bhakti. And that's the only way to get out of this going up and down in the universe. So this pravritti marg is not recommended. Although in the beginning, it is said here, it's necessary for householders. But the enjoyment should be done in a Krishna conscious way. And if it's done in Krishna consciousness, it will purify us from that enjoyment. A good example was Swambhuva Manu. Swambhuva Manu, he always did everything in all his enjoyment was in a Krishna conscious way. In the morning, he was getting up and he was, from the moment he got up, his servants were reading the Bhagavatam, the pastimes of the Lord. He did elaborate deity worship with very nice preparations. And Swambhuva Manu, he loved organizing dramas, everyday dramas of the Lord's pastime. So that was his enjoyment. And that's okay. Of course, the purification will not be so quick, but it will purify us gradually from this tendency for enjoyment. But it should be done in a Krishna conscious way, because this pravritti marg, it keeps us in this material existence. And So it is said here also, like in Bhagavatam 2:25, those who renounce sense gratification while still attached to the subtle body attain the higher realms, the subtle body. And this subtle, so they become attached for sense gratification, gross sense gratification, but still they identify still with the mind and so on, and the subtle body. But they have given up sense gratification, nearly liberated. Such souls, they are not going to Svarga, because you go to the heavenly planets because you want to enjoy subtly. It's not the gross mode of passion, but that you want to attain the heavenly planets. Why? To enjoy. But they have given it up, so they are not going to the heavenly planets. They go beyond it. They go to Jana Loka, Marloka, Tapya Loka, Satya Loka, or Brahma Loka. These higher planetary systems. But so also this path of Pravritti Marg can lead to that. Finally, to come to Nivritti Marg and try to become liberated. So they reach Brahma Loka. But because they are still attached, they have to come back again. And that this is mentioned in 2:26 of the Bhagavatam. Even those reaching Brahma Loka must eventually take birth again. And those who reach Brahma Loka, Satya Loka, and are spiritually advanced, they go to the spiritual world. The two possibilities when you are on Brahma Loka. That if on Brahma Loka you become a devotee and you perform bhakti, and at the end of the life of Brahma, who is a devotee, pure devotee, you go back to the spiritual world with Brahma. But if you are not performing bhakti there on Brahma Loka, then that at the end of the creation, you have to come back, take birth again. So it depends on the level of realization and devotion that Gos yam yam vapi swambram tyant eva kalevam tam tam vedikantya so that bhava bhavata. Whatever consciousness we have at the time of death, that we will attain again. So in the second canto, we have a list of those who can go to Vaikuntha from Brahma Loka. Interesting. That's all mentioned in Bhagavatam. So if accidentally you come into Brahma Loka, you must have this knowledge where to go. That in Bhagavatam 2:31, it says you can go from Brahma Loka to Vaikuntha when you are a pure devotee. That's the first. But if you are in Brahma Loka, verse 2-7 says, then, and you are a yogi, not a devotee, then you can go to Brahman, the Brahma Jyoti from Brahma Loka. But all the others, those who are not pure devotees or not yogis, ordinary human beings, or living entities, ordinary living entities, who attain Brahma Loka to the Pravritti Marg, by their pious activities, they will take rebirth. So these are these two paths, Pravritti Marg, Nivritti Marg. So then back to the question, the path of bhakti, is it Pravritti Marg or Nivritti Marg? Krishna says to Uddhav, it is transcendental to both. It's higher. But of course, it's bhakti is a purification. In the beginning, pravritti, we are attached. And then the next stage, we renounce, we come to liberation. Nishta is liberation. But then we have to go to ruchi and up to prema. And then it becomes transcendental. So that's something to be always conscious of. So we are not against karma kanda if it's good for beginners if it's dovetailed with Krishna consciousness. But we have to be careful that this should be only temporary. That I found it always interesting that in the time my mother Narayana said that to me, Prabhupada disciple, said when Prabhupada was there, Ekadashi, we were fasting, and the next day we were breaking the fast at breakfast. There was no calendar or something. That was at breakfast the next day. But of course, there's a certain tithi to break the fast. Okay, that's we see that Nanda Maharaj was going to take a bath in the Yamuna at the wrong time, and he was arrested. So there is an auspicious time to do things. We see also Ambarish Maharaj was very concerned to break the fast at the right time. So it seems still to have importance that to break the fast at the right time, that of course we say many times that there is a whole book on Ekadashi. So if you follow this Ekadashi, then you have that benefit, that benefit, that benefit, and that benefit. All list of benefits. But that is karma kanda. That is not bhakti. The devotee is not interested in all these benefits. He wants to serve Krishna, that's all. So you have to be careful not to become absorbed in this karma kanda. At the same time, a balancing element is it's good to break the fast at the right time. Because it's in the Bhagavatam in so many ways. The importance of doing things at the right time, auspicious time. I found this interesting. So you have the description of this universe. We were starting with the Rudras, that it's Bhuvarloka, and that it says this Bhuvarloka is also very opulent. That's interesting. That we hear about Sutal, also very opulent. These are sub-heavenly planets, they call it. Of course, when you go lower in the universe, you have these serpents that you don't have human life there anymore. That's interesting. But according to our mentality, we go to certain places. The mind is our vehicle that brings us to certain places. It's our mind that brought us to this earthly planet. And that by our mentality. And like that, it's good to know this, that because if we can absorb our mentality, we can understand with our mentality where we go. So then we can decide ourselves where we want to go. even we can decide, okay, I want to go to the spiritual world, so I have to purify myself through devotional service, giving up all my anarthas attachments. But still then, there is still a choice. Will I go to Vaikuntha? Will I go to Golok? It depends also on ourselves. If we want to serve God in all opulence and remain aware God is the creator, the source of everything, the supreme controller, we can go to Vaikuntha. But if we want to love Krishna, and if love becomes the most important, and not the fact that Krishna is God, then we can go to Golok. It's more intense love. And the most intense love is the love of the gopis. And in the Adi Lila, chapter 1, text 4, it is said, Lord Chaitanya came as to give what was never given before, is access to this Madhurya Ras in Goloka Vrindavan. So our tradition gives us the highest. But of course, if you want to be like Hanuman, you can go to Vaikuntha, Ayodhya in Vaikuntha. If you want the opulence of the Yadus, you can go to Dvarka, which is also in Vaikuntha. So, because when I remember that 10 years ago, I attended a seminar of my spiritual master, Bhakti Maharaj, and he asked him about the mood of our Guru Parampara. What is the mood of our Guru Parampara? If you see their spiritual Svarup, they are mostly manjaris. So the mood of our Guru Parampara is in Madhurya Ras. But that does not mean that all of Chaitanya's followers are in Madhurya Ras. No. We have Murari Gupta. He was a Hanuman Bhakt. Could not give it up. So there are many. There's a diversity in the followers of Lord Chaitanya, especially that appears when he was dancing before Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. So many different kinds of Vaishnavas came, and he welcomed them all. Different moods. That's interesting. So yes, this is what I could say on this verse. Of course, this verse describes the creation. And when we speak about this, these different living entities are created, and also these demigods. These demigods creation of demigods is sometimes a little bewildering. I remember we analyzed in the Bhaktivedanta course and Bhakti-Bhava course with Bhujan Prabhu. We always stressed there are three sets of demigods. When the shells of the creation or shells of the universe are constructed, then together with the creation of the shells of the universe, you have demigods who are governing these shells. And when Arjuna and Krishna is going to see Vishnu, they are going to they are going to the shells of the universe, and they meet all these presiding deities. This is the first set of demigods. The second set of demigods is what we hear now, the creation, that because the creation starts with Mahavishnu putting his glance into Brahman, and with his glance he puts in Brahman the three modes of material nature unmanifested. And then that's Pradhan. But then he injects with his glance the living entities which were dormant since the previous creation in his body. And then he injects time, and everything starts, and by the desires of the living entities, the equilibrium of the three modes unmanifested start to break. And then through that, and then the first element that is created from that is false ego. And false ego then combines with the mode of goodness and creates the mind and creates the demigods responsible for the mind. And then false ego combines with passion and creates intelligence, buddhi, and the demigods governing buddhi. And then it combines with the mode of ignorance, and the first element that comes from that is sky and sound. And from sky and sound, then comes the next element, that which is air and touch. From air and touch comes fire, which has form, and then water comes from that, which has taste. Water, and then earth, which has smell. And all the demigods are created there. That's the second kind of demigods. And then the third set of demigods are the demigods created by Lord Brahma. So there are different kinds of demigods. And he created more than 30,000 demigods or something. So there are a lot of them. So the study of this creation is so wonderful, because you see how everything finally comes from Krishna. Because here we have this universal form, this Vishvarup, and this Vishvarup will start to move when Krishna enters as a super soul in everything. So it's very interesting that this is a bit what I could say on this verse. Any questions, comments, please? Govinda
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for sharing this with us. This creation is very complex. It's not so easy to understand, but somehow you tried and helped us understand it somewhat. So even though we understand it somewhat, we still have some questions. And I think Govinda Prabhu has a question. Govinda Prabhu, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, please kindly accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to the assembled devotees. Maharaj, please, my question is that we more often hear about the demigods being the universal administrators, we hear about the primary work that they do, like Indra, we understand is in charge of rain. We understand Vayu as the controller of air and other demigods. We hear about the primary duties that they perform. But as such, these duties, what again do they do? And also, I believe the planet of Indra is not only Indra who is there as a demigod, and all others there as demigods. What do they do? What are their services? We don't hear about the activities going on in those other planets. So if you can kindly help us to understand a little bit about these principal deities, demigods, apart from being the controllers of these activities like rainfall, like Vishvavan, providing us the sunshine, be the controller. What else do they do apart from this main duty that we know?
Yeah, to understand that, we have to go there, and I'm not planning to go there, but it is. But we have the descriptions of the Bhagavatam. What I understand about the demigods is they are not ordinary beings, because they are in charge of energies of the Lord, that and they are also a person. They are the energies and they are the person at the same time. So everywhere there is heat or fire, there is Agni, is there. But at the same time is a person in Svarga or whatever. That's difficult for us to understand, just that point. That sometimes at the Sunday feast, I'm explaining that. So I want to move my hand, and I move my hand. So I'm doing. But what does Krishna say about that? Praktikayamani gunakarma sarvasa amkara vimutatma kartamiti manyate. Krishna says, if you think yourself the doer, you are a vimuda, a big ass, a fool. So if I desire to move my hand, and I move my hand, and I think I'm moving my hand, then I'm a fool, Krishna says. So then the question is, what's going on? We are the soul. A soul desires. So the soul desires to move the hand. And Krishna in the heart, he notices that desire. And Krishna's Paramatma takes the phone from within the heart and calls the demigods in heaven and say, this guy down here wants to move his hand. So please combine your energies and make it move. So then the demigods in heaven, they have a meeting and they discuss how they are going to combine their energies. And they make a plan and they call back to Krishna in the heart. And, yeah, we have a plan. Yeah. Krishna says, okay, execute it. Okay, then you have, because they have a discussion, the demigod who is in charge of the upper muscles and the other of the airs and the other of the veins, and they have a discussion and they make a plan, and then Krishna says execute it, and they are executing it, and the hand moves. So that happens all in a split second. But we are thinking, I'm moving my hand. So we can understand how deep is our illusion is. And we don't see these things. It's part of another dimension because it's beyond our perception. But it's a fact. If Krishna doesn't want you to move your hand, you cannot, even if you desire. That. So there are energies in charge which are beyond our perception. Like this body, you have the lymphatic system, the neurological system, that blood vessels system, that yeah, so many so many systems in the body. Who is making them working? It happens by chance? No, there's a deep intelligence beyond. These are all these demigods who are doing that. 33 million or something like that. That Brahma created. So this is the complexity of the material nature and its controllers, all sub-controllers. That they are all controlling our body. That but we think we are the controller. We are in charge. I'm doing it. That and Krishna says, "You're a fool." That's all. So I'm one of these fools. So how can I explain this? But theoretically, we get some idea. That's what I could say, Govinda Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. You know, this knowledge of Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says this is the king of knowledge. Our books contains everything that one would think of knowing and beyond. And so sometimes it's so interesting to know, to have more information about all these dimensions. It really is really encouraging and help us to understand which path that we have taken and how fortunate we are to have come to this far. And so thank you very much for the explanation. And I still have more questions. Maybe I will allow other devotees to also ask their questions. Otherwise, you know, I would again ask that in the description of the Bhagavatam in the hellish planet, there are some places that is understand to be even more beautiful and the enjoyment. Of course, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go to such places as devotees. We understand material world is all temporary, other heavens or, you know, Earth planet or wherever you go, everything is temporary. And so, yeah, everything is temporary, and even the body that we are having, as long as we still have the material body, the body will be diminished. And what to speak of things associated with the body. And so they are not important. But the more we know these things, the more our faith become more steady, and it opens up our mind to understand what is to be done, what is not to be done, where to go, and the importance of going to where we want to go. And that will help us to increase our faith, love, and devotion to what we are doing as devotees. And so Srila Prabhupada, I believe he wants us to know this, to have this information. That's why he has put all those things in the books. And so sometimes we like to ask questions so that we can get more understanding. We go deeper and deeper. So why is it that the uh, hellish planet or the demoniac world becomes more beautiful and enjoyment there is even sometimes higher than those of the enjoyment in the heaven planets?
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. That Sutal, small opulent on the heavenly planets. It is said that Bali Maharaj got something better than Indra. But this, of course, that was also because of Bali Maharaj, pure devotion, that Krishna arranged that. But generally, the heavenly planets, the hellish planets, is quite opulent and enjoyment. But it's described that in this hellish planet, sometimes the chakra, Krishna's chakra, comes through and kills so many of these hellish living entities. So every moment it can be finished there. That it's nice to be opulent, but it just increases their illusion. That's all, and every moment can be finished. That no, that's ignorance. That Katvanga Maharaj was also promised the heavenly planets, great enjoyment. But then he asked the demigods, before you give me, how long do I have still to live? And the demigod said, just a moment. And he said, forget it, I don't need that boon. And he concentrated his mind on Krishna and went back to the spiritual world. Yes. And that, so one can get, in conclusion, one can get in some of these hellish planets some greater enjoyment, but it's very short-lived. That, and then what happens? But I appreciate your comment that the Bhagavatam gives all this knowledge. Sometimes I meet people of other religions and I ask them, according to your religion, where do you come from birth? Where do you go after death? Most of them, they don't know, no idea. But we have all the answers. And we know all the parts of the universe and how to go there, we know also. But we don't want to go there, of course. We want to stop the sightseeing and get out of here. Madhudvan Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maharaj. Yes, Madhva Prabhu, please you on mute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. All glory, Krishna Prabhupada.
Maharaj.
All glory, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Sorry. So thank you very much for coming up today, giving us lecture. It's so much appreciated. Please, today's text that we have treated, I'm a bit confused, and I think I need to express. You have to help me to remove my confusion. It was stated that the living entities who are associates of Buddha develop in the third mode of material nature or ignorance. They are situated in the sky between the earthly planet and the heavenly planet. What I will have thought is, I believe space, the sky between the earthly planet and the heavenly planet is higher than the earthly planet. So I expected that those who develop in the mode of ignorance should go to the lower planet. lower than the earth. So that's what I thought, or I normally believe.
Yeah, that's it's Bhuvarloka. Prabhupada says in a puppet which is described here that but in the Bhuvarloka you have Antariksha, the region where ghosts and spirits dwell. So I think these companions of Lord Shiva, they stay at a certain place in Bhuvarloka. Because in Bhuvarloka you have also Siddhaloka, Charanaloka, Gandharvaloka, Rakshasa Loka. Rakshasa is also towards ignorance. And Antariksha, that's ghosts and spirits. So it seems from this description they are from Antariksha or other parts of Bhuvarloka. It's interesting that, yes, it's higher than the earthly planets, but not much. It's close by for us in comparison to Indraloka, and certainly Satyaloka is far away. So they are from Bhuvarloka, and they are the associates of Lord Shiva, and they reside there. They reside there by the mercy of Lord Shiva. Because in principle, those in the mode of ignorance, they are in the hellish planets, the lower planetary systems. Yeah, that's a good observation. That Bhuvar, it's also called the intermediate planets because they are between the earthly planets and the heavenly planets. Yeah. Anyway,
thank you very much, Maharaj. I can understand.
Very good observation. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhava Prabhu. I also had almost the same question, so that question is answered. Tribhuvanat Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, please accept my obeisances.
I accept my obeisance, Prabhupada.
Maharaj, you mentioned two parts, the part of Naviti and the part of, what do you call it again? Pavitri.
Yeah, Pravrita and Nivrita.
Yes.
Pravrita and Nivrita.
So Maharaj, when we ask these two parts you mentioned that are part of liberation, so which of them that one can connect the parts of the Trisangyam of Prayag? Which of them, can one connect to these two parts? Is it the Navriti part or the Pavriti part?
I mean, I don't get the point that. Can you repeat it? You have Niviti Mark, Praviti Mark, and then?
Maharaj, you said that these are two parts of elevation or two parts of liberation.
Yeah.
So yes, and there is still this emphasis that one can get instant liberation if one happens to take bath in the Sri Shangyan in Prayag.
Okay.
So I was wondering which of these two parts, how do we connect any of these parts to the Prayag and Sangha, that if one take bath there, instantly there is a moksha or something.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, I would appreciate if it was true, if I just have to go to Prayag and take a bath and I'm with it. I don't have to.
Maharaj, Maharaj, it's interesting what you have just said. We saw that billions of people we are all there for this sensation, I would say. Maharaj, that one is one aspect of it, you are according to what you said. But if we take it from the other aspect again, that the Bhagavad Gita said the state of consciousness is what matters. So we taking that as an instance that the liberation does not just come, all of a suddenly if the consciousness is not proper. So here there is this again this Sangya that this is not it does not count in the part of Sangya, that once you are open to take part in that Sangya, whether the state of the consciousness is proper, is not proper, but as soon as you take a dip in that Sangya, instantly moksha is certain. So is it a kind of a contradiction, Maharaj?
No, it's not. But Lord Chaitanya said, na dhanam, na jnanam, na sundarim, kavtava, shri sakami, mamacha, mamicha, mamishvai, bhavta, bhakta, haitvitvai. I do not want many followers, no riches, no wealth, no association with women. That I don't want any of these things. And I don't want liberation, he says. I just want to serve Krishna without getting everything in return. So liberation is a useless thing. That with liberation you can merge into Brahman, and then you have to come back. It's boring there. So what's the use of liberation? We have to go beyond liberation, and that is bhakti. So this liberation is impersonal liberation, is nothing to strive for. That you take a bath, you become liberated, and merge into Brahmana. The devotee doesn't want to go there. But we want to go beyond liberation. Bhakti is beyond, is transcendental to moksha, is transcendental to nivritamach. Yeah. So that's nothing for the devotees to strive for. That liberation is, even great demons Krishna gave liberation. But they didn't go to Vaikuntham. Some of them went to Vaikuntham because they had devotion in previous lives, and they were executing a mission. That's something else. Yeah. Good. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare yeah.
How are you? I want to say something. Okay, send it to my.
Sorry, I thought he was talking to us. Thank you so much, Maharaj. In fact, I think about a week or so ago, I don't remember who was speaking on this same platform, and I asked a question, and my senior god brother, who is almost always here, His Grace Shamavaraha Acharya Prabhu, was saying that scientists talk about the universe, but they talk about just one dimension. There are other dimensions to the universe that material scientists do not know about. And today's class and the description given in the paper helps me appreciate that answer or that statement, as Srimad Prabhu said. And the question is, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that in between this Earth planet, which is Bur, and then Bhuvar, and then the other Swarga locus, there are other planets which we never hear scientists talk about. Like we don't hear scientists talk about Petriloka. We understand as we read in this Petriloka, just like Madhavan Prabhu was saying, I also used to think that such planets will be below the Burloka. But here we reading that it is above the Burloka. And then above them is the moon planet, the sun planet, and things like that. And I am wondering and trying to understand, Maharaj, how is it that those who are said to be in the ghostly body are sinful, and therefore they should not be promoted to higher planets, are actually higher above the Earth planet instead of beneath the Earth planet. So it's not contradictory per se, but I'm wondering why that is the case. And then two, is it the case that every follower of Lord Shiva is in the mode of ignorance? Because I think there are some followers of Lord Shiva who are also devotees, since Lord Shiva himself is a Param Vaishnava. So these are my two concerns. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Lord Shiva has two kinds of students, followers.
Okay.
He's very compassionate to those in the mode of ignorance who take shelter at him. That's one kind of followers. He sees in this, it is said Lord Shiva sees in these followers in the mode of ignorance. He sees that when he sees one good quality in them, he's highlighting it so much, appreciating it, and he does not see the faults. That's interesting. That's a good exercise for us also. Seeing the spiritual qualities in other devotees. Not see their faults, see the faults in your own heart. But Lord Shiva is also the spiritual master of great sages, which he instructs these great sages in pure devotional service. He was doing that when Chitraketu came to Kailash, and he saw Lord Shiva with him at one side on his lap was Parvati, and he was embracing her with his left arm, and with his right arm he was instructing great sages who are in pure devotional service. So it's two kinds of disciples. Very advanced sages and which in the mode of ignorance. About Bhuvar Loka. Dan Om Bhuvar Sva. Gayatri Om Bhuvar Sva. Bhu is the earth, Sva is the heaven. So Bhuvar is between. Why this organization of the universe is as such? I don't know. That's for me also a mystery. That's a question I cannot answer, but it is. But of course, the Bhuvar, most of the Bhuvar living entities, if we see Siddhaloka, Sharanaloka, Gandharva Loka, they are all heavenly. They are also in Bhuvar Loka. But then you have Rakshasa Loka, Rakshasas. That tends to the mode of ignorance, right? And then Antariksha, where are ghosts and spirits, that's also ignorance. So there's seemingly a mixture that in Bhuvar, that but then beyond is the heavenly planets far. That's different. Yeah, that's what I can say on this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, thank you so much, Maharaj. If I may go back to His Grace Govinda Prabhu's question about the subterranean planets. It seems to me that the subterranean planets are not considered hellish planets. They are also like heavenly planets in the mode of ignorance. And I would like to share what Srila Prabhupada says on this and ask my question from it. And that is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. Where is Srimad Bhagavatam? Chapter, Canto 5. Canto 5. Chapter 24. Chapter 24. Text 8. So I don't know if the words are big enough. So it says, in these 7 planetary systems, which are also known as the subterranean heavens, Bila Swarga, there are very beautiful houses, gardens, and places of sense enjoyment, which are even more opulent than those in the higher planets because the demons have a very high standard of sensual pleasure, wealth, and influence. Most of the residents of these planets, who are known as deities, Danavas, and Nagas, live as householders. Their wives, children, friends, and society are all fully engaged in illusory material happiness. The sense enjoyment of the demigods is sometimes disturbed, but the residents of these planets enjoy life without disturbances. Thus, they are understood to be very attached to illusory happiness. And my question is, how come that these demons, they are demons and they should be punished, but they are given this opportunity to enjoy material sense gratification to the fullest?
Yeah.
And those of us on this earth planet, we are trying our little best to serve Guru and Krishna, and we have no single comparison to compare with these demons. So if someone cannot become a devotee and decides to become a demon because he wants to enjoy, then it's like Krishna is fulfilling this individual's material enjoyment, because in the case of devotees, some of us, we cannot enjoy materially and we cannot enjoy spiritually because we are not yet fully spiritual. And so we are not enjoying that Susukam Karatum Vyayam that Krishna says of devotional service. And yet, due to the little knowledge we have, we cannot go into material life and enjoy material life. So it's like we're losing both sides. And I'm wondering why Krishna allows these demons to have these enjoyments in these subterranean planets. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Well, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada speaks about Prahlad Maharaj and his demons who are there in Sutal. But the demons today are of a low quality. Formerly, demons, they followed the Vedic way to get happiness. They had knowledge that Ravan, before going to fight the Brahma, the Brahman, the Brahmanas, Rakshasis, were reciting the Vedas, the Vedic hymns, to get power. They had knowledge how to enjoy. That they had knowledge that is the Vedic system of Rite. Rite means they knew that how to make the universe and the material laws reciprocate so that they could get their enjoyment. And that is called karma kanda. So all these followers of all these demons under Bali Maharaj, they were following the instructions of their so-called spiritual master, Sukracharya. Sukracharya, he was a specialist in karma kanda. And he told the demons, you follow this karma kanda, and then you will get your enjoyment. Material nature will reciprocate. And they did that. And by that, they came in that situation where they have this big enjoyment and nice, but they did not care what would happen in their next birth. They were on this planet so busy with their enjoyment. And when you enjoy, life goes quick, and soon it's over. And that's the point. I hope that clarifies.
Yes, very much, Maharaj. Like you said, we pray and hope that we don't get ourselves involved in any situation to find ourselves in such places. We just want to go back home, back to Godhead.
Yeah.
Yes. So, dear devotees, if anyone has something to share, otherwise we may bring this to a close. It's a little late for Maharaj. Well, we thank you all devotees. We're going to humbly request you all. Maharaj, we thank you so much for your association, your blessings, and at least visiting us once in a month and showering love.
Like, there's a story.
Yeah, every once in a month. Thank you so
That you
much.
got this. I love the story.
Sorry.
Whenever something bad used to happen,
We're going to ask all the devotees to unmute and we will chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Pacitanam Vaishnavyo
Janam
Vaishnavyo.
Vanadevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha.
His Holiness Bhakti Prabhupada Maharaj has left.
Jai.
Jai.